Hello and welcome to another bonus video on Planetbase, which I picked up yesterday on a total whim. It popped up on my Steam recommended feed, and it's got a touch of the RimWorld about it. It's also got a touch of space-based DF9, only not terrible. It's got a lot of promise, and I'm really excited to show it to you. Actually, I hadn't heard of it before. I picked it up, as I say, on a whim. It's 25% off during launch week on Steam. It launched 2 days ago, so it should still be on offer. I think it was 25% off. No, it's 15%. I apologise. Now, essentially how it works is you land with some colonists and you build your colony. But it's got a lot in common with something like Banished, in that it's super punishing. So it's almost... I hate to use the term roguelike because it gets thrown around too much, but it is in a way. You know, you get a little bit further each time. It's very easy to get into a sort of a dwarf fortress kind of spiral where, you know, one problem starts out small but very quickly escalates till it becomes totally debilitating. I haven't had more than 30 minutes on a single map so far because I'm still learning about it. So let's pick the first planet. Obviously it's a lot easier here. We'll land there, why not? There's a lot great about this game. It's fantastic, but it does still need some work. So the recommendation that I've already made apparently comes with a caveat, and that's that the building needs some work. Building placement, it kind of feels unnecessarily restrictive, in the sense that you can't build things as close together as you clearly visually are able to. It's also, the UI needs some work in terms of controlling the alert status and general statistics about your colony, although it is prompt in announcing problems to you, and it is incredibly complex for an initial release. So what you see here is these guys have different coloured spacesuits because they have different jobs, and you also have bots. Now, let me explain how this works quickly. Unfortunately, I don't... Is there a pause button? Yes, there is. So, the guys in blue here are workers, green are biologists, yellow is engineer, red is medic, and you need all of those kinds of people. They can't do each other's jobs. So, workers operate sort of factories, they do a lot of the hauling. Your biologists deal with the biodomes, growing food and medicinal herbs. Your engineers deal with the maintenance of the colony and construction, and your medic is fairly self-explanatory. You also get security officers as well, and then you also get bots, and bots come in the same flavours as people. They move a lot quicker, however they require spare parts to maintain, whereas your colonists have slightly expanded capabilities, it appears, but they need air, water, somewhere to sleep, all that kind of stuff. So how does it work? Well, essentially, initially at least, it's about survival. Then later you want to attract visitors and more colonists, and colonists will only come and live with you if your colony is well managed. You can't decide who comes and lives, which can be a problem, because right now we only have one engineer and one medic. There are environmental hazards like solar flares, meteor showers, intruders even. If we lost our engineer, the game's essentially over. Because you need, first of all, to strike a balance in terms of the kind of crew that you've got available, but you need everybody. You can't survive without any one particular thing. To give you some examples, you need a medic and you need a sick bay, primarily because anyone who gets injured or sick will still consume resources, but will not contribute to the economy. So, very much like children are in Banished, where you want them, but you don't want too many of them, and you want to turn them into a productive member of the society as quickly as possible. So that's why you build a school and you train them. It's very similar to that. Resource management is punishing. It's quite difficult. It takes quite a while to obtain resources, and if I have another complaint, it's that because you have no direct control over your agents, the people and the bots, task priority needs some work. They don't prioritize tasks very well. There's a lot of, if you don't plan things very, very well and very efficiently, there's a very definite problem with them basically not doing tasks in a logical order, which means, you know, maybe you're absolutely desperate for metal to finish a power generator that you need to power the colony, but instead they're pissing about repairing something. The other issue is you have an alert system. This only unlocks once you've built a security control, which is, you know, if you need access to that functionality beforehand, well, fuck you. With a yellow alert, what happens is your security and medical staff will work extended shifts, and leaving the base, going outside, becomes prohibited. Red alert has the same effect, except your security staff become armed and your colonists will attack intruders that are detected from security control. Now, the problem with that is, it sounds like a very good system, but aside from the need to unlock such an elementary function, there's the other problem with it is that because you have no direct control over them, as I say, they will finish their current action before taking notification of the alerts. I'm sure they'll patch that out, but yesterday, for example, I got a solar flare warning, I hit yellow alert, but the people who were on their way outside to fix the solar panels up continued with that job regardless, and then went back inside. By that point, they had radiation poisoning, I didn't have enough medical supplies or a sick bay, and they died, and it was game over. So a lot of this is luck. I'm sure there are people out there already, even though the game's 2 days old, saying it's all about skill. It's not. It's as much luck as anything else. You know, your meteor showers are, I believe, randomized. If you take a meteor shower hit to your oxygen generator at the wrong time, that's everything completely bollocksed. So that's quite enough waffle. Let's get into it. The first thing we need is, obviously, we're going to need an oxygen generator, which I will... buildings can be different sizes that require different numbers of resources. We'll just put a basic one down now. And what I also need is a airlock. And you see here, this is the range at which you can contain stuff. Some buildings are outside buildings, some buildings are inside buildings. And the primary difference between the two is whether they have atmosphere in or not, which means, do they require a spacesuit, do you require an airlock transition? Let's connect those things. So now, when these guys have a low oxygen in their spacesuit, they can jump in here and gather themselves up. Now, that's not the full story, because obviously they need water to create oxygen and you need power. And that's what we're going to work on now. So I'm going to build a power collector over here and make it a large one. And then my power I'll build up here. I'm going to stick a mine in here. This should all hopefully become clear as to why I'm doing this later. I'm going to build a big water collector as well. The reason for that is that I like to go for a big biodome early. Not that it's ever proved successful for me. Then you have to consider... you see how, like, there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to put that there, but the game kind of restricts you. So like, planning becomes quite difficult. So, and what's going to happen is that power collector is going to store the harvested power from the solar panel, but occasionally, you know, you're going to have extended periods of darkness, and so it's good to mix things up. Let me turn the speed up with a bit of wind power. Sometimes you'll run out of both. You just get unlucky, and then you've got to hope your power capacitor has enough capacity to deal with it. So now we have power, and there we go, everything's connected now. So these guys should be able to gather some oxygen once it fills up. Now let's slow time down. Normally I would build a storage at this point, but we're not going to do that. I wanted to build down here, but this is in the way. It's very in the way. Well, before everyone dies, let's get... It's going to take a lot of recycling and reworking to get this base how I want it, but in the meantime, what we're going to do is just get the basics in position. Now, some buildings are dead ends, like the dormitory, for example. So now I can build no connections off this. It's not like a connected hub. What we have now are the sheer basics for survival, but that's not enough to thrive and survive. We don't have a landing pad for off-planet resupply, and we don't have very much to trade. So we should... A wind turbine would be good at this point, I think. Because we're already going to run out of solar power. Let me put that speed up again. And basically it's about getting the sheer basics that you need up and running in time for... I wanted to connect that to the airlock, but for some reason it won't do it. Hopefully I've got enough materials to build all these things, and then I need a processor. What would be good would be... Yeah, structures are running low on oxygen already because of the power problems. You see, it's all tied. I'm really already unhappy with this colony because this is exactly where I wanted to be building, down here. And this creates a huge area around it until you recycle it. That prevents you building there. But I can't wait that long. You see what I mean? It's all about compromise. We really need that wind turbine up, or else we're going to have people dying already. Yeah, these people are going to dehydrate. They might even die. Let's get that in. So what I'm placing is a water fountain and a television screen for some light entertainment. The water fountain's really important, or else they'll die of dehydration, which might actually happen live for you, and then I have to start a new game because I've got no power. It's brutal. It really is brutal. The wind dies as soon as we build the wind turbine. Come on, guys, come on. This dehydration problem's getting serious. Okay, we've got power now, which means... Yeah, someone's just died of dehydration. Also, you see, yeah, asphyxiation, all kinds of problems. So we've already lost someone. I hope that was a worker. There was a meteor in the background. Now you see, there comes kind of a backlog of people at the airlocks. Then you need to start thinking about how quickly you need to get people in and out of the airlock. So everyone's going to go for a drink now. Let me turn the roof off. And we have to begin growing food. So all these different food groups, some grow faster than others, so this is slow production and low maintenance. That's not very good for us. Fast production and high maintenance lettuce pad might be better, although it does keep your biologists busy. Medicinal, oh, that was a bit close for comfort. And then medicinal herbs here, and then these are just for mood and for a little bit of oxygen creation. And then up here it produces food and starch is used to make bioplastic, which is your second building material after metal. So we will grow some potatoes and some rice. Okay, turn the speed up again. And we need to, what's up here that I built? A dormitory, that's right. See, already people are getting tired, they're getting thirsty. I hope we haven't lost our biologist. No, you're the biologist, okay, that's good. We might have lost an engineer though, which I think we have lost an engineer. That would be really, really bad. Although the bots can fill in temporarily, they're going to run out of spare parts. So let us get on with a processing plant, which we'll put here. And this will enable us to produce more building materials. And then once I've got a storage, we can begin building up and start moving everything that's in here through there and recycle this. Do I have enough materials? I think I do. It's close, but I do. Yeah, we have lost our engineer. That was who died of asphyxiation, so we're relying on this bot now, and you see he needs repairs, and I don't know if we've got anyone who can repair him. I know I should recycle my colony ship, and I will. Okay, that should leave us just enough to build the storage that I need. Which will, I would love to plonk down there, but apparently I have to plonk it down here. And the reason I'm putting it there is that it's close to an airlock, and we'll put a landing pad here, I guess. It's also close to the mine, which is already producing ore for us. He's now broken down. Oh, there's our engineer. Can you please fix that bot? Thank you. That makes me happy. Now, what's happening is people are having to wander all the way around here, so do I want another airlock coming down here? These are all the questions that we have to consider. Storage has been built and it's now connected. Our biologist... See, we don't have enough biologists already to maintain this supply of food. Because all his energy is going into that lettuce pad, but that will produce enough food to fill the meal maker. It's... You see already, it's already quite complicated. The building tree is a lot bigger than I expected for a game of this... this age, to be honest. It's very rare games come out with this level of detail. Normally you'll come out with the basics and add it in later, but it doesn't strike me as an early access release. Although I'm sure there is more content coming. So basically, this stuff will deteriorate now it's outside in quality, so we need these guys to move it into our storage as soon as possible. And I don't think our storage is big enough, but I did what I had to do at the time. I might build another one up here and get another mine going. That wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea. Let's build another one here. And later on you can improve mood by getting rid of dormitories and having cabins where, you know, you have one for each member of the crew. Of course that takes up a lot more building space, but, you know, the advantage that you get from the mood boost probably makes it worthwhile. I'll tell you what, let's build an airlock facing this way. And that helps us get to storage quicker, and we can get a mine going over here. Power storage is critical, so now we're starting to run into those power problems I was talking about. Here's an anti-meteor laser, but that requires all kinds of things. You see how the building tree kind of expands as you go along. If your base gets too big, then your oxygen generator is not going to be powerful enough to fill things up. I'm not going to build another mine just yet, and the reason for that is... look at that, I can't build the big size one where I want it. I'll build it here. Do I have enough steel left for... I think, as much as I hated to do it, do I want a control center or do I want a fitness and leisure building? because the last thing you want is their mood to deteriorate too much. But I also need a sick bay. This is where it gets difficult. You've got to make difficult decisions all the way along. See, he's already got a mood problem, and it's not even certain that the fitness place would fix it. I think what I will do is I'll grab a lab and use that to grow synthetic meat, so we've got another food supply, and we can also begin making medical supplies. And then, do we have enough? I think we've got enough building materials for a sick bay, and I'm going to do that because it's just necessary. And I will connect that to... See, it's going to take a long time to get there now. It's so deep, and you've got to spend a lot of time thinking about every building placement. And all the time you're playing in the knowledge that you're gonna lose at some point. It's only a matter of time before you lose. So now the wind's died, and look how quickly the power's draining. So we either need night to be over or the wind to pick up again. Oh, it's picking up a little bit, but we're still draining rather than charging. Still draining. See, we need another biologist. That's what we're learning here. Like, this stuff just isn't... It stops growing when it reaches a certain stage. What you can see here is what it's producing as well. So it's producing 2 crates of vegetables and a crate of starch, which produces bioplastic. Same for rice. Lettuce produces vegetables, and this just produces 1 case of medicinal herbs. What I'm happy to see is steel. I've never had steel produce reliably, and I think it's because I was going for 2 mines too early, and it was using up all my workers. But now we've got someone producing steel. That is one of the big problems I've run into in the past. It's kind of dealt with. Right, up here we want a workbench, and we want more than 1 meat lab, let's call it. And here we're going to run out of bioplastic, that's for sure. I think we want at least 2 sick bay beds. So this now is producing chicken. I'll use the other one to produce beef, so we've got a bit of variety. Again, variety in diet, like most games like this, produces the effect of improving happiness. Now what we need is a factory, because something we're going to run out of that's incredibly important is spare parts. For the wind turbines, for every piece of equipment you see here, they all use spares, which are these. And we've got a decent supply at the moment, but you will go through them incredibly quickly if you're not careful. So we're also out of bioplastic. So we're running into our first supply problems already. So then I'm going to have to look at what I can recycle to reclaim some if we can't build it quick enough. Like this, for example, I'm going to cancel that. We've got 1 sick bay bed, that's all we need. But see, no one's working the bioplastic processor because we lost that worker. Now he could do it, but he's going for a sleep. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. That guy's eating a meal. See, what I like to do, if I can, when I get to trading, I like to buy another carrier bot. Just because it takes the load off your other people. Here we go, this guy's now making us some bioplastic. We need 1, 3, so it's going to take a while. Hopefully we don't run out of spare parts in the meantime. Luckily we've got enough metal to produce spare parts when we get the machine in place. And the biologist is now working overtime. So what I'm going to do is go to colony management. And I can't set the landing rights just yet. What I want to do is kind of put a leaning towards biologists. It doesn't guarantee you're going to get them. In fact, sometimes it feels like the opposite, but it does give you some control over the balance of numbers between your colonists. But you see, right now it looks like things are fairly calm. I mean, this is suffering, but things are fairly calm. But they're actually not. We are literally one mistake away from death. If any one of these units was injured or incapacitated and stopped working for too long, we'd be totally ballsed, completely and utterly bollocksed. I'm glad to see we've got all our stuff inside in storage. And I don't feel too bad about how things are designed. But you see, someone's injured. It looks like a worker. And you see, if we had lost our medic, or we hadn't have built this sick bay, that person would just be sat there eating food, and I believe they would eat more food than usual. So they're going to take a while to heal up, but now it means our economy is kind of ground to a halt a little bit. The engineer stood around with not much to do, because he's not capable of doing anything else. Oh, now they're healed and they're working on bioplastic. Excellent news. So a moment, I'll take a sip of a drink. And you can probably already tell by my enthusiasm at the start of this video that I absolutely fucking love this game already. And because I already got my Civilization Beyond Earth Rising Tide video out to you this weekend, I thought I'd treat you to a little bit of a bonus video since I'm playing this anyway. It's not really a game that I can do a let's play of because it's very squirty. This colony might last another 15 minutes or so, but I'm not expecting a great deal of life out of it, especially now. You know, we're running into some issues, particularly around food. I might try and build a landing pad and see if we can't. We've got a sandstorm starting, and I've got no way of telling people to stay inside. We'll put the landing pad here. Doesn't seem like a great place, but now I can't stop people going outside. And there is a danger that they'll become injured or incapacitated. So I'm going to have to build a security control at some point. I guess I'm going to start building down here now. I've cleared some space. So what I might do actually is... It's not a very logical place to put security control coming off the production facility. It seems a much better place to have robotics down there once the factory's complete. I think that's what I'm going to do actually. I'll have oh look, already we've got a trader here. Trading is punishing as well. Don't think that it's not. Trading is super punishing. Spares, got a gun. Got some bioplastic and some metal. Don't really have anything worth trading at the moment, so we're going to dismiss him. Off you go. What we really want is some more colonists to show up, ideally biologists. Let's set some landing permissions. Yeah, we're aiming for 10% guards, 10% medics, 20% engineers, 30% biologists, 30% workers. That's the balance we're trying to get. So, because we're going to need some security staff at some point. I haven't run into security issues just yet, but it's going to be a thing. Why is this not being built? Oh, it's waiting for the last unit of bioplastic. Security should be near an airlock. I think that makes some sense. So what I might do is build security coming off here, and it's just got to get through storage at that point. So let's build a control center here. Already this colony looks nothing like I wanted it to. This bot has broken down. And our engineer's he's up there, keeping the solar panel running. I suppose that's good, I shouldn't complain. Oh, a colonist is here. Who are you? That's just another worker. Oh no, he's a guard. Excellent. Oh well, let's hope we can build you somewhere to work. Because at the moment, you see, he's totally useless. He's on patrol, but, you know, he's got no weapon. This makes me happy that we've got the factory up and running. That's the last thing we need for the pure basics of survival. So we'll build a spares workshop. And we're not going to worry about the rest. Later we will, because we want to start building our own bots, because they're expensive to buy. What we do want is a driller bot to work the mine, because it's not only a lot faster than a human, but it means that human is being useful somewhere around here. We've got some starch to turn into bioplastic. That's fantastic news. The biologist is rushed off his feet still, and this meat is not getting ready. It makes me think I should get rid of one of these things. You're producing starch. You're producing starch. Food. Yeah, let's recycle this. We've still got a source of starch coming, but it just frees up our biologists a little bit. It was a high maintenance kind of deal. Now you're fixing that up, which makes me happy. We are going to run into food supply problems before long, but we just don't have the biologists to work this the way we want just yet. So what next? You're probably wondering. Well, what I want is to build a bar and spread the dormitories down here, really. Robotics is going to come out off here, I suppose. This is a dead end, which was stupid of me, but I can recycle it and put it over there, maybe. Got another colonist. Who are you? Oh, excellent. We've got an engineer, a biologist, and a guard. Oh, I've never had that happen before. That is perfection itself. That means we're going to have to put back... we'll put some tomatoes in. Right, let's see if I can replace that dormitory with another dorm here. No, you see, it's just not letting me, there's just no space. I think what we could do with, though, would be... I'd like to say a water tank, but I'm more concerned about power. Oh, that was close. Let's get another solar panel up, if we can. No, of course we're not. See, like, all this is redundant space, and maybe it's an aesthetic decision that the devs made, but I don't think it's a good one. Right, so robotics we're going to worry about later. What we'll build next is a biodome, apparently. So let's build another biodome coming. Hopefully I can still build the bar where I want it. Has this produced food yet? Almost. Another set of colonists. That's another worker. That's happy news. Because workers are going to get producing all this stuff. We need more starch coming in. We need a trader to land, actually, with some bioplastic. And we need more power. Oh, a trading ship, excellent. Right, what have you got? Alcohol is very good for mood. Goliath turbine patent for 300. A constructor bot for 160. But you see, we don't have anything anywhere near that value. We could do with some starch. I'm not giving away that ore. I'll sell him a crate of spares. Some medicinal plants. Oh, that commission is a bitch. Sell him another medical supply and then fill up the rest with beer and starch and starch. Okay, that should solve some of our problems, but now everything has to be moved. we really need more power. Urgently. Yeah, this power problem's gonna kill us if we're not careful, and now of course no one's doing anything because they're all loading this up. And he's gonna dump everything on the pad, and someone's gonna have to come in and move it all. I'm thinking I should recycle the control center, because the other stuff's a bit more urgent. Another load of colonists. Wow, we are attracting a lot of people. That makes it even more important that we get the biodome running. Good, you're getting on with some plastic. You're a constructor bot, why aren't you fucking constructing? Okay. Yeah, people are starting to get hungry. What's in here? Nothing. Do we have anything in storage? Got some beer. The beer will have to tide you over. Yeah, we've run out of food. Serious problem now. Lettuce is almost done. Tomatoes are almost done. Meat, yeah, we might just scrape through, but people are getting very hungry. We're going to lose some people to starvation, I think that's fairly clear. It doesn't help that we kept losing power, which kind of stunts the development of things. Ah, there we go, vegetables at last. Okay. But you see how close we came to starvation there? I mean, I wish I could tell you. It's really hard without being able to show you, but we came incredibly close to starvation. So, something low maintenance down here, I think. Some wheat. And yeah, so I did a pea pad. Yeah, very serious food problems. We've grown too fast. So what I need to do now is landing permissions, no colonists for the time being. No one's going to come now anyway, but please tell me some of you are near production. We haven't run out of food, our stocks are just low, so maybe we make it through. How close are you? Good, that produces 3 vegetables. Oh, I don't know. We're really going to be in trouble here. Oh, tomatoes might save the day. Hope you all like tomatoes. There we go. I didn't see who that was, but apparently we got some more colonists even though we didn't want any. And no one's producing spare parts. Food stocks are low again already. Onion pad is coming along nice. Ah, the tissue synthesizer finished. Thank Christ for that. And the rice pad's almost ready as well. Yeah, now we're getting meals. But this is really fucking subsistence survival at this point. surprisingly, people's mood is okay, which I did not anticipate. Right, what next? Sandstorm is imminent. Let's get that control center up and running. Yeah, food stocks are still low, I'm aware of that. Oh, but some meat's just come out. Yeah, we've got some meals being produced. Oh, we lost someone to starvation. It was a worker, though. I remember clicking on her when she arrived. It's not great, but... we have an issue with not enough bunks as well. Right, we don't really have a backlog of much. Trader, okay, yes, meals and beer, please. What can we trade for that? 5 meals would be good. Hate selling medicinal plants, but yeah. I'd love to have bought some alcohol. I think we deserve a party, but it's not going to work. The main thing is to stabilise our food supply. We're getting there, but... Oh, you've injured yourself, that's fantastic. Clumsy bastard. That airlock is getting very congested, which is okay now, but it can lead to deaths eventually. I'm very happy to see some meals in the storage, even if we did have to trade for them. It just takes that subsistence survival element out of it a little bit. Yeah, the tomato plant's just spawned some stuff, the lettuce isn't far behind. How are we for water? We're using about half. Okay. Okay, I can live with that. So once security control's been built, we'll expand outwards a wee bit. Hopefully this is showing you pretty well how the game works. It's very, very good at grabbing you. It really did take me in almost straight away. I wanted a robotics facility, but I don't have any patents for robots. So maybe it's better to build that somewhere down here. I've never built a bar before. I've never built one before, so I really feel like I want to. I don't like them having to... I wanted to build it there, connected to that central oxygen supply, but... Actually, how are we for oxygen? I have no idea how to read that. But I'm guessing we could use another. So, let's... Oxygen's super important. If I miscalculate, we're fucked, so... We'll build another one. That we'll use as a hub for the bar and whatnot. Okay, here we want an armory, and we want a security console first of all, because we don't have anything else for it to monitor. But later, you know, when we get the telescope and the lasers up and running, we'll be able to... Yeah, we're starting to run really low on spare parts, and no one is producing any. What have you got for me? Right, a carrier bot, a constructor bot, and a constructor bot patent, which means we can produce our own. We do have some stuff to trade. I think a carrier bot could actually be useful, but it's 120. It's 120. It's too much. It's too much. Yeah, we can't do it. As much as it pains me. Can someone please get preparing spare parts, because this is bullshit. I mean, see, him. Oh, he's a guard, that's why. But you're not. Oh no, you're an engineer. You're an engineer. Okay, fair enough, maybe all the workers are busy working. But this is why I want a driller bot, you see. I'm surprised we haven't been hit by anything. See, solar flare is imminent, so... Yellow alert. Everyone stay inside, please. I think everyone is actually inside, which is good. So we're not going to lose anyone to radiation sickness on this occasion, which is good. The last time it was a solar flare that finished me off completely. But you see what I mean? Like, this control here, it would be great to have it somewhere down at the bottom here, so you can quickly and easily change your alert state. Oh good, we've really solved that food stock problem. It makes me happy. So, what next? How are we power? Well, during a solar flare, pretty good. I can't tell if the solar flare's ended. Yes, it has. So you think they'd use that time to make more spare parts, but no, haven't bothered. There is no reason why we shouldn't be making spare parts. Oh good, you are. And we're out of power, which stops that dead in its tracks. Come on, let's get this night over with. Well, anyway, I think we'll leave it here. I might pick it up again for you later, but hopefully this has shown you exactly why I think you should go out and pick this up. I think it's definitely worth the asking price at the moment. So this has been Planetbase on Steam at the moment. Thanks very much for joining me, and in closing, just remember, I haven't been paid to say any of this. I'll never do that to you. This recommendation is a genuine recommendation, so hopefully you give it a look. Take care.